What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting to you from the D, and it is a fantastic, feel-good, 80-degree day here in the Motor City. Your boy had to go ahead and get some of this vitamin D in, and now I'm ahead to the gym because, can't neglect that. But let's talk, man. Looks like Pride Month is no more. We're a few days into the month of June, and Pride Month seems to be canceled. The usual suspects who, for the last 4 years, would do the rainbow logos for everything have not. That includes Target. Yeah, Target, here's the thing about Target. Now, I know that Target is being boycotted by black folks right now because of the DEI stuff. And even though I'm not going to join them in this boycott, Target, to a certain extent, does deserve this boycott because they were being moronic when it came to June, amongst other things. They had the whole rainbow section, bam, right in your face up front. They were pushing it really hard when you would go into the stores, and that I didn't like so much. They also had like rainbow colored swimsuits for children. I mean, that was just some really questionable stuff. Last but not least, do you guys remember they had some designer that not only was rainbow but was apparently a Satanist? Like, there was people like dug into this person's background, whatever, and found out they were some sort of Satan worshiper. And that's just a bad look for a brand. If you're gonna have them designing products for you, especially stuff that you're gonna have at the very front of the store, it would do you some good to, maybe vet them to make sure they're not psycho. They failed to do that, and that was a bad look for them. They did get a lot of pushback for that. And then they moved the stuff. They didn't get rid of it. They just moved the stuff to the back of the store. I've noticed this month of June, I've been in Target once so far. I don't know, I might go there later. We'll see. But I've been there once so far, and I didn't see the usual in-your-face section in the front full of rainbow stuff. So maybe they had a lot of patriotic stuff though for Memorial Day weekend, but they didn't have any of the rainbow stuff. That's a welcome change in my opinion. But Target did not change their Twitter logo. Macy's didn't. Amazon didn't. Surprisingly, Starbucks didn't, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I don't know how Starbucks explains this to their employees, because the thing is that when you pander to these types, like kind of how Target did, and I think that's why Target is getting the boycott that they did, because they did pander hard to these types. So for them to flip the script, it's upset them. But Starbucks, I don't know. I don't know how Starbucks decided, hey, we're not going to do this and we're just not going to say anything about it. People that work for the company haven't really seemed to have taken too much issue with it, which is surprising because they love to go to social media to complain about everything. But McDonald's has not changed. Disney, that's a good one. Disney has not changed. So yeah, you got Walmart, Target, Disney, Hershey. You got a lot of the ones who have really leaned into this heavily over the last several years. They're not doing it this time around. Now, what does that say, really? What does that say? It means this stuff never mattered to them in the first place. Remember Skittles for the month of June? Because Skittles is already rainbow colored. Their damn slogan is Taste the Rainbow, which used to be a great slogan, but nowadays not so much. But remember, they would sell bags of Skittles that were colorless. They were just all painted white. That was their way to celebrate Pride Month. And I just thought that was really ass backwards. I'm like, wait a minute. You guys have the perfect product to push this month, and you're going to deface it, essentially saying that this is your solidarity attempt. It was just really strange, man. But here we are. They're not doing any of that. It doesn't seem like any of the candy makers or just the giant national brands in general are really messing with the rainbow stuff this time around. But as I said, this doesn't, it means it never mattered. All they were doing was pretending to care about this stuff because they thought it would sell more products. They never cared. It was never about support. It was about selling products. And when this business strategy they no longer believe was a profitable one for them, look how quickly they abandoned it. I mean, think about it. We're just a few days in. I mean, it's pretty clear that's not happening. Ubisoft, they produced the game Rainbow Six Siege, which was very popular. And the Rainbow Six Siege account, and I absolutely love this, they are pushing Men's Mental Health Month for June. So they've said nothing about Pride Month at all. They're talking about men's mental health for the month of June. Absolutely love this. Listen, being a man comes with a weight on your shoulder that women will never understand. And it's not that women are incapable of feeling any sort of understanding or whatever. No, it's not that at all. It's just that as a woman, she'll never walk in a man's footsteps. She'll never walk into a man's shoes. So there's a lot of good women out there. Let me just say that. Shout out to the great women out there. You love your men, you support your men, you back your men. Shout out to y'all for real. You have a lot of fantastic women out there that are very willing and they try very hard to understand their man. But that's just never going to be the case because regardless of how much you may desire to understand, well, we found a noise for our video. There we go, man. I always promise y'all noise, at least one noise source per video. And there it is. We got the fire truck. I don't always deliver, but there's usually one sound of the city that you guys are gonna get. So you always gonna get that Motor City sound from me. I intentionally don't turn off or turn on rather noise canceling because I like to give you guys the sounds of my city. But back to what I was saying, and that's that you have some fantastic women that they're very sympathetic and understanding to the weight that men carry. But no matter how much she may want to understand, she won't truly understand it just simply because she's a woman. Like how no matter how understanding and sympathetic men can be to understanding what it's like to be a woman, we never will because we're men. That is why no matter how much a man may want to put on a dress and put on makeup and get his body mutilated, get the bottom surgery or whatever, you're never going to understand what being a woman is. You'll never experience womanhood. You don't have the right parts necessary. You're never gonna be at the gyno. You're never gonna know what it's like to experience a menstrual. You're just not. You can't be something that you are not. So as sympathetic as I can be to a woman's plight, I'm never going to understand it because I'm a man, and vice versa. But shout out to people for trying anyway, right? I'm gonna leave it there though, you guys. Let me know what you think. Pride Month is no more, at least for now. We'll see what happens next year. But for right now, there is no Pride Month. It is Men's Mental Health Month. So call your uncle, call your dad, call your brother, check in on your peoples. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. And hit me in them comments. I'ma holler at y'all. Peace.